Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Engler Journey podcast. I'm your host, Olivia Vanderford, and today I am here with someone who has a passion that's burning brightly for entrepreneurship here in the Engler program, Bethany Nichols,
Yes.
and it's so nice to have you here today.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to learn more about your story, and I know you said you're from Bridgeport, right?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I grew up in Bridgeport, Nebraska on a family ranch with my dad. I have two younger brothers, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, so that's kind of crazy. There's only 3 of us. And honestly, that's where my passion began for just agriculture. I saw the work that my dad would put in every day, and it just inspired me. He expected the same out of me. He expected me to be up at 2 in the morning when we were checking heifers. He expected the 6 a.m. mornings when we were going out just to work, and the late nights too. And I remember sometimes during the summer we would be out super early. We'd get up at 5:30 to beat the heat to kind of check pivots and go irrigate. But then I would be showing 4-H calves, and so it would be 11:30 at night when I'd be walking in and falling asleep while I'm eating dinner, and those are just memories that honestly raised me, and I just honestly kind of want to go back to. I just remember those days with my dad and building that bond, but also just building me up to be the person I am today, and just inspiring me to love the community that I was born into. So
Yeah, I love that. And what do you love about being from that small community, being from a ranch family? What has it taught you?
Yeah, I think it has taught me a lot about just my dependency on community. It's really easy to think that you can do everything by yourself, and I'm a very high motivated person, but I still could not do half the things I do every day without a community backing me. And I think honestly it taught me what to look for when I got to college, because my community is really close, and they'd back us during everything, state cross country, state basketball, FFA, whatever it was. I knew there was a community of people that would be waiting there for us when we got back to celebrate, or cry with us during the losses, whatever it was, they were there. So when I came to college, it was the easy thing to find of just okay, where are these areas that I can seek out community? My uncle was a member of the Engler program a decent amount of years before me, but I remember talking to him I'm really nervous, Brandon, just that I won't find people right away. And he was well, the first thing you need to do is just go up into the Engler space. He's that's where I found my family, and it's been really cool that we get to have that connection with the same family. And yes, they're different people, but it's the same core. And just the other day I texted Brandon. I was Dave's always going to be my number one supporter, and he was he was always mine too. And so just that bond that my uncle and I have definitely came from the community and what my community taught me from a really young age. So
Gosh, I love that, having that family connection here in the Engler program. Did your uncle ever do a business of any kind, or?
Yes, so this is kind of funny, but I always make fun of him for it. But he was in 388, 488. He wanted to buy the Bridgeport Trash Company. He was super, maybe not passionate about it, but definitely knew there was a lot of potential there. But we had an older gentleman that ran our trash business in Bridgeport, and he was really good at it and just was super passionate about it. And but just within the last, I think, year, Brandon actually purchased the trash business from that older gentleman. And so it's really awesome that was his dream. And so it's been really cool to see that start playing now in his life, because I'm dang, that literally started here. And Dave and I always make fun of Brandon for the trash guy, but it's honestly so sweet just to see the dedication that he's put in to start that. So
yeah, that's cool that there's always entrepreneurship in your family, being from a ranch family, your uncle's, purchasing that trash business. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And so you're from a ranching family, and Paul Engler was also from a ranching family and from a ranching area. How do you feel you relate to him in being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think that the core of ranch families are all very similar. You're very motivated, you're very passionate for what you're doing, and I think that's the one thing that I've always got from especially Tom. I think I could listen to Tom talk about Paul for hours upon hours because the way that Tom is so motivated and like encouraged by his story comes out with how he tells the story. Sadly, I never got to meet Paul, but I just like feel like I do know him. And I feel like that's where I connect most is like you can tell how much he loved the entrepreneurial mindset and just like he put a lot of effort into it, hence what we have now. Like look at the space that's been grown from him. And obviously he like wants to pour into the younger generation and like the next generation. I see that a lot in myself of I'm going into ag education and if I use it, I don't really know 100% yet or like what all of that will look like. But I do know that like my next goal is to pour into people that are in the next generation that are going through similar life phases that I did at one point. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that too. So many great answers you're giving. And Paul, I mean, being such a selfless person to give us this area to just work and play really with entrepreneurship. And we've got so many mentors, like you were saying, Dave. Yeah. What's one of your favorite memories of just maybe going into his office or talking to Dave?
I feel like my relationship with Dave is very different than most. I don't know. A lot of people are like, man, like, I almost like, he's just so wise. Like, I feel like I'm like, when I sit down, I need to have everything prepared and I need to have like this set in stone answer to like share with him. I've heard that from a lot of people, or like just like respect his like wisdom so much that they want to have it pretty ironed out before they take it to Dave. And I'm the exact opposite as that. Dave and I throw around dodgeballs. We play volleyball. In his office, Hallie's always making fun of us because she thinks we're going to break something. We're kind of partners in crime, but the best part about it is the way that this last semester I've been in 388, and I'm starting to like kind of play with what it would look like to start a coffee business, how I could take that back to a small community and build a community. I think community isn't just a gathering of people. It's a bunch of people that want to pour into each other and like love each other. And so, while Dave and I might be throwing a dodgeball around, he has always pushed me to like actually think of what I love. During the $50 venture class, I started like Faith Alive Bible covers, and I like painted Bible covers. He was always like, I don't know if this is your forever thing, but I love how much energy you're putting into it. And just the other day, he was like, Bethany, like, I can see a spark in you that goes beyond just, like, your Bible covers. He was like, I can tell that you really do want to put a lot of love into whatever you create. And I don't know, his words always mean a lot to me. And even though we're kind of partners in crime in the aspect of we play a lot, like you said, like, we can play in entrepreneurship, too. Dave and I do that a lot, but we also, like, he has a very special place in my heart and will always be somebody that honestly I love and has made this place such a home for me. So
Dave is such an amazing mentor for so many, and really just kind of a friend that you can go and talk to anytime you want. And talking about your faith, you know, you said that that's a big part of your life, being in SALT, right? And your Bible covers that you were creating. Why is it so important to you?
So I became a believer my freshman year of college, actually. It wasn't something that I necessarily we kind of went to church, but it wasn't anything that was like super deeply rooted within me. But when I came to college, I found a really amazing community. Actually, like my teammate's roommate is now one of my best friends, and she just was like, she radiated something different. And I was like, there's something about you, JC Larson, that is unlike anybody I know. And the more I got to know her, it was a love and passion for something so much deeper than being on this earth. And honestly, I think that is the reason I have so much love. Like my faith is why I have so much love for just community in general. Is like that is our one commandment. Like that's the one thing God asks is like go out, make disciples, and baptize them in my name. And it's like, man, like if that's how easy it can be to live on this earth, to just like go out and share the name of a God that's so good and so beautiful, what am I doing in my life? And literally a week ago I was asked, do you want to work a job that you only like enough to go back the next day? Or do you want to like live a life where your job is your like passion and like the one thing that fuels you? And I think we look a lot for like work-life balance. And I'm starting to realize, obviously I'm not in the workforce, so I'm not an expert at this, but I am starting to realize through like my faith is like there's an option out there for me of like getting to make disciples and going out and like being friends with people and like loving on them like God loves us. That will make me not only like to go to my job the next day, but truly like love it and like crave building it. And I don't know what that's going to be. And I would love if it was a coffee shop where people could just come and like gather. There's like a song that says, I want a house with a crowded table. I just want a life with a crowded table. Like I just want so many people to be like surrounding me. And like, I don't know, there's like this vivid image in my mind every time I think of this coffee shop. Like the really old Bridgeport coffee shop a while ago closed, but the old ladies and their husbands would come in and they would like split up. The old ladies would all sit on this side and the old guys would sit on this side, and they had mugs that were already there. Like they had their names on their mugs. They were specialized mugs, and like it could like honestly bring tears to my eyes, because that to me is like a life worth living, when I can get to like my last years and be like, wow, I still have a group of people that I can come, and like my husband can come too, and we can feel loved and supported, just like God has loved and supported us. I might have got a little off track.
No,
but
I love that. Yeah. And I mean, that is classic of small towns. You have the older ladies and the coffee clubs. I love it. I know here in Engler we have coffee mugs too that has our names on it. So, you know, that really relates to coffee community. And that's what you really want to do with your coffee business, creating that community. So could you talk about your coffee business that you want to create and the trailer that you also would like to do? Yeah.
So it's a little confusing, even for me right now, just to kind of like work through realistically what this could look like. But I work at Bloom Coffee Shop, and they started as a trailer. And I think their story is so beautiful, and I could go into that for a long time if I really needed to. But I think that it's so cool how they started in a trailer. But the coolest thing about a trailer is when you have a trailer, you pretty much have a trailer, and there's not a lot you have to do to change. Where like an actual business building, you're paying rent for this building. Like there's a lot more. Basically, for a trailer, I just have to pay for gas to get to where I'm going. Or to have an actual like building, we all know like is a lot more. Property tax, all of these things like go into that. And but to be able to start a coffee trailer now, that later I can transform into just like a one-stop shop for the high school that I'm working alongside, but like living with in that community. I think it'd be really cool for them. I don't know, coffee has just always been a staple in my life, and a part of my pitch is like, you won't watch me walk into a class without some sort of like cute bev, and like I feel like so many people can relate to that, and it's a little difficult to stop at a small town coffee shop and get this cup and go to school because it would take so long. And so to somehow get a trailer to a school where I can support the teachers that are like kind of on that like 1 week before spring break drag, or the students that are like, man, I just like want a community. There's a stat right now that says 54% of students worldwide feel unconnected from the communities that they're in, specifically their school communities, but also going deeper into like their actual like home communities. And if I could play even a hair of a fraction into that like stat of just like making somebody feel loved, and like, I don't know, Bloom was for me when I first got to college. Like I knew there would always be somebody that wanted to have a conversation with me there, and that loved me and like recognized me there. And if I can do that for a high schooler or a teacher that's honestly just like having a really rough day, that would make my whole life something worth living. Like just to hand them a cup and like have intentional conversations with everybody. So right now, it would look more like, hopefully one day, having an actual established business that I can just take the trailer every morning to the school and support the school, kind of like that. But then also go back and have the actual coffee shop where people can sit and the old ladies can come in and they can have their mugs. And that might sound like I kind of want best of both worlds, but why not? I don't know.
Why not? Yeah. Entrepreneurship, why not go for it?
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's so beautiful. Trying to just give some love to people through a simple cup of coffee, just through those small acts, really can make a big difference in people's lives. So, talking about Engler again, I wanted to ask you, what is some of your best advice you would give to young people considering being a part of the Engler program?
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
And not just do it, like jump full force in. I feel like my freshman year I was very timid. I kind of stood on my tiptoes. I was like, man, I don't really know how to get involved with this community. They're a family, and how do you like jump into a family was something that I just like really wrestled with. And I wasted a year of this like beautiful community by kind of standing outside the glass looking in. And I think my best advice is like grab your backpack, take it to the kitchen table, and sit down and like just wait for the stories to like take play in your life, because the most random stuff has happened. Like naps have been taken in this space, games have been played, Mao has been played with Zach, like the most crazy things have happened, but also like tears have been shed, but like the most joyous of smiles have been shared, and like the most like loving hugs have been shared in this space specifically. And I think like Engler is just like sitting here waiting for you to like walk through the door, but not only just like walk through the door, like make yourself comfortable. And yeah, that would be my biggest piece of advice is like grab your backpack, take it to the table, and sit down and wait for like just the magic of Engler to take place, because it will.
Yeah. And I love that your growth, talking about your growth story through the Engler program. Yeah. Why did you want to become a leader in the program?
Yeah, I'm on the experience team and a trail guide, and this is my second year trail guiding. And honestly, like, this is my favorite part about Engler, honestly, is specifically the trail guiding experience, to like partner alongside, like I have 3 freshmen and then 1 junior in my trail guide specifically, or my cohort right now. And then same thing, like I had 3 freshmen the time before that. And just like looking at the 3 specifically, like I have pretty deep connections with them at this point. Like one of them is Gage Frieda, and he's on the exec team. And just like to see his passion for the Engler program, and to kind of like look back and be like, wow, like I saw it when it just was starting. Like I saw him as a 101 student, like just kind of diving in, and it has just been really beautiful to see. Like, I don't know, this place is magical. Like there's just something different. Like there's no community like it. Like simply put, like there's just nothing like this on campus, and to see the love and support and the like just the program enter somebody, like I don't know, like to see when it's like changing their life is so cool. And I think that's the same reason I wanted to be on the experience team, is the experiences that you have in Engler, whether that's sitting at the kitchen table, coming to Fireside, all of those things. Like there's just something different about the group of people that come for Engler, alumni, or just like, it's just so sweet. And just to be able to serve, I think for a long time I was like, oh, I just want to like put on the events, and I think that would be really cool. But this year specifically, I was like, man, no, like there's a group of people that deserve to be served, and if I can be one of the people to do that, it would just bring so much joy to my heart. And so, there's a group of people to be served, and I just want to serve them in any way through the experiences that this program can bring them. So.
Yeah, I know. And you were talking about events. What has been one of your favorite events that you've been to?
That's a really good question. This might be a little different than most, but I think it was my freshman year, honestly. Towards the end of the year, we hosted these like movie nights, and there were 2 of them. I remember that, like, and there was all the couches got pulled into here, and I was just like, man, like this is more than just a group of people or a club or whatever that is. Like this isn't just like this is a family of people that like laugh together and all of those things, and just like sitting down with everybody on a couch watching a movie together. One of Tom's movies, I'm sure, like is so inspirational. But that was a pivotal moment for me to realize like there's more, and has always been one of my favorite events to just like look back on. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's so much fun. I mean, coming in here and just watching a movie with the whole community really brings people together. Yeah. And your leadership journey really started in FFA, right?
Yeah.
Could you talk about that experience?
Yeah. So I was an FFA state officer my freshman year, but honestly, it goes way before that. Like, just the passion for leadership as a whole probably started my like freshman year of high school when I was elected an office, like an FFA chapter office. I always just like wanted to serve our FFA chapter. I saw my uncle again has always been somebody that I've looked up to, and his FFA journey was very, very different than mine. He had an amazing teacher, an amazing FFA advisor that really loved just like, I don't know, just that chapter specifically, and it was a well-oiled machine. Like, they got things done, and then when she left, our chapter just kind of like hit a very rocky path. We couldn't really get a teacher to stay for longer than a year. I had 4 advisors from like my 8th grade year to my senior year, and so it was really difficult. And so that was where I saw myself as like serving our community, is like, okay, how can I make this look even similar to what Brandon got to experience? Even though like things are messy and our advisors are leaving and like we don't really have a foundation right now, like where can this foundation lie? And then my senior year, Christy Schuler is her name, and she has been one of the most amazing impacts on my life and gave me a lot of purpose. My senior year of just like, okay, so what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? She made me want to be an ag teacher, like all of those things. And she came into our program, and I like now look back and I'm like, okay, like she's doing amazing things. And just to know that for 1 year, her and I got to like kind of partner up for our chapter, and I had an amazing office or team that year. And yeah, it was just really sweet. And then obviously my state office year was so special, getting to like go, and chapter visits were my absolute favorite, because I literally just got to be there and just get a glimpse into every single student's lives and what motivates them, but also their challenges. That's something I didn't really expect to learn. It's just like the hard things that people were going through. But honestly, it just like made me love every student just a little bit more when they would open up. It's really cool. Claire Whipple is somebody that I bonded with my state officer year. I like stayed at her house one night, and like for a chapter visit in Chambers, like I stayed there, and we just got to talk a lot about like why she wanted to be a state officer and what that would kind of look like, and just all of the things that you would talk about. Yeah. And just to like sit down at a table with her family and get to know her family, and now to see where she has come, like I just love watching growth in others, and I feel like that's what that whole entire year was for me. It's just like getting to see people at the like checkpoint of whatever year it was for them, and just like getting to see the growth, and now like being able to look back on them. And a lot of them are here, and a lot of the people I was meeting during that year are like actually at UNL and doing amazing big things here. And so it's just that's where it all started, which is crazy.
That's an amazing journey. I love it so much. And really, it really teaches you about leadership. And being a teacher really is all about giving back to students. Yeah. And that's what entrepreneurship's about, too, giving back to your customers. Yeah. So 20 years from now, what are you going to be so thankful for being a part of this community and this entire program?
Wow. That's an amazing question.
It's a deep question.
It is a deep question. 20 years from now, oh my goodness, so much will change. But I think I will be the most like thankful for just the like way that Engler accepted me for who I was, and didn't need to change me, and didn't need to. I never felt like I needed to change for Engler. There's a lot of things that I've done before I got here for college, or even up until my like sophomore year of college, where I was like, man, like I need to change myself to be perfect, or I need to change myself to match this crowd, or whatever that was. And that just left a lot of like really hard thing. Like it's hard to work through, to never feel like you're quite making the mark for other people. And I felt like this community was the first community that I could walk into and not feel like I needed to change, not feel like I needed to like shift my personality for, but I could just truly be the person that God has called me to be. And like obviously I've grown so much, and so I have changed, but it's been like growth and making myself a better person, not having to change my personality to like fit in for somebody else. And I think that specifically 20 years from now, if I never like got into this program and I never would have experienced that itself, 20 years from now, I'd still be trying to change myself for somebody. And so I think I'll be so thankful for just how this community has built me and like, but just built me up, not had to like rebuild. So yeah. I hope that makes sense, but
No, that's great. And I feel like so many people can relate to that story, especially coming into college and trying to figure out what they want to do for a career, activities, so many different things. So thank you so much, Bethany, for being here and telling me about your story. I've loved listening to it, and I know that you're going to have a great coffee business in the future, and you're going to be an amazing ag teacher.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
I loved it. So thank you.